What's up guys, Snow here. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing story time. This is going to be part 1 of this new series. I want you guys to definitely know what you think about this kind of thing because I'll do it more often if you guys like it. And if not, I'll probably can it. But for now, we're going to be starting out with a story from my early childhood. To begin this story, I need to give you a little backstory on my family as it'll tie into the story, and it'll tie into the rest of the stories I'm going to be telling eventually when we get to it. So, my family is a family of 6. I have 3 older brothers, my mom and dad. I was the youngest child of the family by about 3 or 4 years. And my oldest brother's name is Taylor, Tanner, and then Trevor, and then me at the bottom, number 4. All T's, all of our names start with T's. It's kind of irrelevant to the story, but it's kind of interesting nonetheless. So, this story begins when I was 5 years old. My family had just bought a new piece of land by the water, and we went to go check it out. Me, all 3 of my brothers, and my parents. We drove in our big car. It's like an SUV, 2 doors with a trunk door that comes up, and my oldest brother was hanging out on top of the car, just relaxing. My brother, the closest to my age, was in the back of the car with the trunk door open, sitting back there with my mom. And my dad and the middle child, Tanner, were by the water, just looking around or doing whatever they were doing. I've always had appreciation and respect for my oldest brother, probably because he was too old to bully me and my other brothers were not. And so that built a little bit of me looking up to my older brother, and so I wanted to get on top of the car to go up there with him. And so I went and asked my mom if I could. She said no. She said it was not a good idea. I was too little to get up on top of the car. So what I decided to do is go and ask my oldest brother if he would put me up there, not telling him that I had already asked my mother, and she said no. Before we continue, I want to mention that all of my stories I tell, there's a purpose for it. And if you listen close enough and you listen to what I'm saying, there's going to be a reason things end up the way they did in the story, and there's going to be a way to avoid them. If you're a little bit smarter than what I was at the time and what other people will be in my other stories, so there's going to be a moral to the story, and there's going to be a cause and effect. So if you guys pay attention, you'll catch on to that a little bit. So anyways, my oldest brother, not knowing that my mother had already told me not to get on top of the car, decided to help me up there and put me up there on top of the car with him when we were just looking around, relaxing, until my other brother, Tanner, ran over. And honestly, I was so little, I don't know what it was about. I don't know if it was something serious or nothing, but I do know that they went kind of quickly. Taylor got up off the car fast, and I wanted to follow him. Keep in mind now, I'm 5 years old, and the trunk door is open on top of the car. It's on the same level as the top of the car, and I could easily have just slid off the front of the car and followed my brother easily. But instead, I sat there and asked him to take me down with him, but he was running off and he was already gone. So I decided to find my own way down. And once again, instead of sliding off the front of the car, off the hood, might have hurt the car if I did that, but it would have been the safest way to slide down easily. Instead of doing that, I decided to start crawling off the back of the car like an idiot, not knowing what I was doing. And I end up on top of the trunk door. Think about this now. When you pull a trunk door down, it closes. So think about a little 5-year-old kid on top of that trunk door. So, as you can tell by now, it did not go well. I get on top of this trunk door, and it starts closing with me on top of it. I flip upside down, and somehow, by freak of chance, my right big toe gets snatched in the in-between area between the trunk door and the car top roof. The door closes, traps my mom and my brother closest to my age in the back of the car. Closes, I hit my head on the side of the car, and I'm hanging upside down with my toe inside of the car. And there comes a point here to where my toe is going to snap off and I'm going to fall and probably break my neck. At that age, from that height, I'm probably not making that one alive. But by grace and nothing else, I was able to hang there long enough for my oldest brother to run back, grab me by the head, and pull me out of there. I passed out at this moment, though, and I ended up waking up in the car on the way to the hospital. And I looked down at my toe, and my right big toe, the bone was cut straight through. There was a little bit of skin holding my toe onto the rest of my foot, but unfortunately that would not have been enough to save my toe, and the doctors were forced to amputate my toe and take it off completely. So I have spent most of my life now without a right big toe, and not only that, but with nerve damage and all kinds of issues in my feet, and because of the imbalance that causes, it causes other problems throughout my body, and it causes imbalances in my hips and all kinds of issues, especially all the sports that I do, and I've really harmed my body at this point. But the point is that all could have been avoided if I listened to sound advice. The sound advice was to not get on top of the car in the first place, never to do it, and if I did, don't slide off the back of the car. That was stupid, but my mother told me not to get on top of the car, and I should have listened. So that is the biggest moral of this story, is to listen to sound advice. Aside from that, I wanted to share how difficult it is to do things without the big toe. Not to brag on myself or tell y'all, look at me, this is what I've been able to do, but to make you guys understand that despite whatever problem you have, and everyone's got them, everyone's got an issue here or there, everyone's got a disability of their own, you can still do what you want to do. I played sports my entire life. I played baseball. I played college baseball for a short time. You can watch my basketball videos. I can still compete at a high level and look as athletic as the next guy. But the missing big toe, it really messes with the balance. It messes with the jumping ability. And you can look it up. The big toes are the most important part of your foot. And it's been a hindrance, but it doesn't matter to me. I enjoy the challenge, and that's what you should do. With whatever goal you have, with whatever issue you have, enjoy the challenge of breaking that issue. Enjoy the challenge of rising up past your disability. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it's something a little different. It was a little touchy, but I don't mind. I like to make jokes about it. Feel free to call me non-toe snow, because that's what I am. People call me that my entire life. Remember, don't ever let anyone tell you you can't do something because this or that. I never let anyone tell me I could not be the fastest kid on my team because I had 9 toes. I worked, and I fought for it. I became pretty fast. I was able to move no matter what I did. In baseball, basketball, I'm quick. So do it. Work hard in whatever you want. Don't be lazy, or you will let all the doubts take over. Thank you guys for watching. Love you guys, and hope you have a great day.